Hey, Andy's fans.
Hey, we're back once again in the Fan Cave.
Good name.
The largest collection of vintage ceiling fans. Definitely in south central Wisconsin, probably in the greater upper Midwest.
Definitely in the greater upper Midwest, possibly in the entire country, although Richard Moss probably has me beat.
So, Dan, tell us what we're dealing with today.
These are the Modern Fan Company Industry Model, which is one of the few new fans that collectors tend to like because they look kind of like a blender fan. They look a lot like a Phil Rich. And we've been told they have a stack motor inside, but we've never had anybody see for themselves. So we're going to open one up. And we're going to see if there's any validity to that statement. And then we're going to hang one up, and we're going to see how they perform. And so we'll get to finally have some data. I don't think any other collectors have one of these, except for the guy that was another collector that sent me these two. There were 3 total, and he sent me 2 and kept one for himself. So technically there's one other collector with one. But he's not the type of guy yet to be the kind of guy to open it up and do some investigation. We'll convert him, you know, in due season. So I've never opened one before, obviously, having never had one before, so I'm not sure if this is the best way to go about it, but I'm going to give it a shot. Oh, that's not coming off of there. Could just be press fit on there, or it could also be that that's... I don't know what's on the other side of that. If I had to guess, I'd say they're put together like a Broadway, meaning the motor attaches to the bottom plate. And, yeah, there's some screws that attach the motor to the bottom plate. So I'm guessing it's just kind of stuck on here is the only issue. But I don't want to bust it. What's that threaded to? By the way, people who want to look up the UL number to see who made these, it is E as in Edgar, 81964, then there's a space, 82, H as in Happy, 4. They're rated at 1 amp, which implies that there actually could be a stack motor in there. That's a pretty hefty amperage rating for a spinner. Stranger things have happened. I'm going to take these off at the bottom, too, and see if that makes any difference. I don't see how it would, but learning is important. These are also a nice copper finish, so I don't want to mess it up by... According to Tom Frampton, copper was one of the most popular finishes in the 70s. And you don't see it much anymore. A lot of Red Robin restaurants have these in this finish. Which is possible that that's what these came out of. I doubt it, because there's only 3 of them. But the balloons make it seem like that's a possibility.
Oh yes, you were saying before I started recording that they had balloons stuck in them.
They do. They have multiple balloon bits stuck in the...
Oh yes.
Yeah. So if this was not something that I was concerned about the finish, I would just pry this top cap off, because that seems to be the other thing I can try. Where's my other toolbox? I don't want to spend too much time taking this one apart. The more important thing is to hang the other one so we can video it, but I am curious as to what the motor is in there, since we've never actually seen it. And if it is a stack motor, then what kind of stack motor? I'm going to put this one to the side for a moment and work on getting the other one freed up enough so we can hang it.
Okay.
because I don't want to spend the entire day trying to open it and then we don't get to try one out.
So yes, they do have a damp location rated motor.
Yeah, just kind of unexpected given the given the way it's put together. I wouldn't expect
and
that.
Also given the fiberboard blades.
Yeah, well, as you correctly or presumably correctly pointed out, they would most likely use different blades if they were going to be used in a damp location. I don't know what all the other blade options were for them now. I'll have to look at the website. As we pointed out, at some point there's balloon detritus in here. And, anyone who spends any length of time working on vintage ceiling fans will sooner or later become very familiar with pieces of balloon and balloon string. They are the natural enemy of fans. The longer they leave the balloons in here, the worse it gets. And this is pretty bad. This is pretty... If I knew how to take these apart, it would be easier just to take it apart and de-thread it. But since we already failed at taking it apart, I'm going to try to do it the way that I've done many times when there were other reasons why taking a fan apart wasn't a good idea, like it's installed in a commercial setting. So you get the picture of the deal at the estate sale?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, it's the estate sale cannot sell fixtures from the house, but as it turned out, the person that bought the house actually lived next door, and so they I went next door after I left the sale. They weren't home, but their nanny was home. God, to live in a world where I could afford to buy the house next door to me and have a nanny. That... I think I got all of it out of that section, so now I gotta work on this other section. I had to do this recently. I don't remember to what fan. Some fan I had recently. Oh, was that, wasn't that ring fan?
Yeah, it was the one we pulled down from that community center. The ring
Yeah,
fan.
that was pretty baloney.
Yeah, we have a large section of balloon string.
There's still a ton of it in here. Good God. How many balloons did they have? Pretty clear that after the balloon got caught in here, they just kept using it. I've never seen this much balloon so tightly wound before.
That's pretty awesome.
That's not the word I would have picked. Instead of just kneeling on the
That's
floor.
one of the larger sections of balloon string removed so far.
Unfortunately, there's much more to come. From the looks of the different colored rubber that made its way in here, there were several balloons that fell victim to this.
Oh dear.
Could that be all of it? I still see bits of rubber, but... Nope, I still hear string, but I don't see string. That is all the... Unless this is more where it's just... No, is that string? Or is that rubber? Still hear balloon string. I can't see balloon string.
If at first you don't succeed, WD-40.
Oh. Usually I don't even wait for the not succeeding. I just WD-40 right away. But in this case, I wanted to see what I could pull out. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do much more without taking it apart, because I do not see any more balloon remnants, but I hear it. And there's still rubber caked in there. I think we're just going to hang it like it is, because it clearly spins freely. And that way we can do a video, and then later on when I figure out the proper way to take them apart, I can do a better job of removing sad balloon parts.